Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about lovemaking. I'm going to interchange both of them, sex, lovemaking, but they don't mean the same thing. But for the purpose of this, me sharing my thoughts, I'm going to interchange them, sex and lovemaking. But one thing I'll say is that most people don't like discussing about lovemaking in public. People are shy, but I think sex in marriage, it's key. A marriage where couples no longer make love, there's an issue that is brewing, something going to happen. You know, one thing I would say is that sex has a way of maintaining the marriage. It has a way of showing that we have a union, we have a chemistry with our spouse. It has a way when we go to the mechanic, primarily because we want to change our oil, we want to change our filters, we want to maintain the car, we want the car to last us long. Also lovemaking has a way of maintaining the marriage, has a way of keeping the marriage together, has a way, spicing up the marriage, letting us know that we can, it's an intimacy we have with our spouse. It breeds intimacy, but also sex can be a chore. Lovemaking can be a chore. At times, with a tired person, we just feel boring. We are just tired of just making love. But what makes lovemaking boring? What makes it not interesting? It can be that there's no love in the family. It can be that the chemistry is no longer there. That bonding is no longer there between us and our spouse. It can be because maybe our spouse is dirty, smells bad, or I smell bad, or I have a very dirty boxers, a bit dirty undies, and because of that, it repels my spouse. So, or a mouth odor. If you get mouth odor, maybe say the mouth oozes so much that our spouse cannot stand it. But if we're having a bad mouth odor, there are always different ways we can address it. You get many ways where if we take address that, maybe say we can eliminate that odor. If we are unkept, if our undies are dirty, we should just know that we can always wash them. But on the part of the chemistry and the love declining in the house, well, that is beyond the scope of this topic. Well, I will say something. If you know that the chemistry and the love in the home is declining, well, we should find a way to address it. But we know that what can make sex boring, what can make sex not interesting, is all dependent on us. Anxiety and depression too can be an issue, whereby the woman is so anxious as she dey fear. Well, the man's manhood is so big and I don't know how I can accommodate it. Well, that's the essence of courtship, whereby we can assess the person. I'm not saying we should have sex with the person. I'm not encouraging sex before marriage, but at least we can assess the person. Mere looking at somebody, maybe you go to the beach with a person, you can size him up and like, okay, fine, I think this guy has this part large, so can I really accommodate it? But I believe if we're having anxiety, if we're having depression, we can see a psychologist. We don't know what we're having anxiety about, we don't know what's causing the depression. But we can see a psychologist about it, and they can be able to proffer solutions to us. Medical issues, erectile malfunction of the man or vaginal dryness of the woman, tilted uterus can be a problem. In a part of the man whereby he's having erectile malfunction, he may be shy about it. If you know one common, anytime you talk about sex, the man may be shy about it. He doesn't want to come because he knows he's having a problem. Or also too, the woman can be having vaginal dryness. With vaginal dryness, when the man tries to thrust inside the woman, it can make her bleed, So this can be an issue. If you're having these issues, please, we should just try to see a doctor. The doctor can proffer solutions, give us medications that can address that issue. Varying taste. The man likes doggy, the woman likes missionary. The man likes 69, the woman just prefers kissing and romance. Varying taste can be an issue. But the thing is that we should have an equal ground where we can meet. We should discuss about it. The problem with us is that we don't communicate. If our spouse's mouth is smelling, we don't tell our spouse that their mouth is smelling, or what is turning us off is the mouth that is smelling. If they are unkept, also too, that can be an issue. We don't tell them, we don't communicate. The problem with us is that we don't communicate. If we want to have sex, we don't tell our spouse we want to have sex. The way our spouse kisses us, the way our spouse touches us, we don't tell them how we want it served. It is good we tell them how we want it served so that they can know where they are lacking, they can know where they are not doing it well. If they are touching us in a way, no, I don't really like the way you touch me here. I would like it when you touch my boobs. I would like it when you touch my hair. I would like it when you stroke your fingers down my spine. It arouses me. But the thing is that we should just learn to communicate. If we need sex, if we need to make love, some people don't know how to communicate with their spouse. So people don't know how to tell their spouse, say, man, I want to make love. I want us to make love. Women, many a time, they feel that, well, if they tell their spouse they want to make love, if they tell their spouse they want to have sex, their spouse will look at them that they are cheap. How do you tell a man that you want to have sex? But hey, this person in question is your husband. You guys share something. You guys share a marriage certificate. The marriage certificate is the only certificate that has been shared by both parties. Now, two parties, now they share that thing. So for you and your spouse to be sharing the same marriage certificate, that means you guys are sharing the same body. So it's your man's body, it's your body, and your body is your man's body. So if we need sex, if we want to have sex, we should be able to tell our spouse, man, I want to get sex, I want to get down. There are different ways we can communicate. You can tell your spouse that, man, tonight is hot, or tonight is cold, we're going to make it hot. Or you know what, today Ogoro must jump, there's something's going to happen. We're going to do snake and the monkey shadow in the bedroom. There's going to be a fight in the bedroom between you and I, a sexy fight. But the thing is, there's always different ways of communication. You can create your own communication. Communication is an act. You can just tell your spouse, you know what, I'm going to make it all blues for you tonight in the bedroom. But we should just find a way, to communicate with our spouse. Another issue I think, about around this sex, where you have husband and wife quarreling, where you have them having issues, they're not talking to one another. You see where the woman deprived the man, from sex. Yeah. Well, just day your day, I don't want to get sex. I don't want us to have sex. I think that's an issue. Whether both spouse, nobody should deprive themselves of sex, I say of spouse. Nobody should deprive their spouse, of sex. It is good that sex has a way of calming down certain tension. No matter how we and our spouse are having issues, we notice that when we make love, when we, have it, everywhere will just calm, everywhere will just cool. And then we can now address that issue. Love making has a way of curing headache. Don't ask me how, but I think I've experienced it before, whereby I'm feeling headache, and after making love, I noticed I felt better. I believe, maybe an explanation to it is that I said earlier that sex has a way of calming down tension, and headache is tension in the brain. So tension in the brain, tension, calming down, I think that's the reason. But I don't have the medical explanation for that. You can make research on that. But the thing is, we should know that whenever we are having issues with our spouse, it is good that we don't deprive our spouse of sex. Please, guys, there are different ways we can communicate with our spouse. There are different ways, with our spouse on us having sex, of us wanting to have sex, wanting to make love. But find a way to discuss with your spouse. Let us plan our sex life. No matter how busy we are in the office, please know that when you come home, you're going to get busy in the bedroom. Please, guys, don't think I'm dirty. Don't think I'm filthy. I'm just an ordinary dude with a sexy imagination. My name is OTAH DESMOND. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and however you feel about sex in marriage, love making in marriage, please, you can drop it in the comment section below. Let me hear your thoughts about it. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.